I'd like to thank everyone for joining me for this call. Today, I want to talk about being able to spot the issues. As we're working with our clients, are we gathering the right information so that we can help them and spot the issues that are going to help them with meet their goals, meet their planning objectives? As you think about planning, part of this is as a planner is helping our clients identify their puzzle pieces. What is it that are what do we need to know about their lives? What is it that they're trying to accomplish? The goal as a planner is to help them put this puzzle together to meet their goals and objectives. And every client's going to be a little bit different. They're going to have different puzzle pieces. And our goal is to help them get the best puzzle and put that together for them. Part of putting this together is having a process. This is a repetitive process that you can go through that will, one, help you stay on track, but also be a good guide for your client so they can see how your process is going to work and how much effort they need to be putting into this, as well as you, to reach their goals and objectives. Part of the whole planning process is gathering information. When you're gathering information, think about this: garbage in, garbage out. So if we're not taking the time to gather the information, we're not going to understand who our client is. And if we don't understand who our client is, how are we going to help them put this puzzle together? So when you're going through the gathering process, that can be using the questionnaires, gathering tax returns, any information that you need to see to be able to put the puzzle together. Also, as we're gathering that information and having this repetitive process, it's going to help you spot the business opportunities, the opportunities that are going to help your client achieve their goals. So if you think about this as you're going through, think about what are you trying to gather. So as we look at the questionnaire, it's not just a data gathering, but it's an opportunity spotting exercise for you. If we're looking at this and we have, spouses or partners, are we planning for one? Are we planning for both? As you start looking at that, most of the time, if we have spouses, we're going to be planning for both. Now you can start looking at this. Well, can we do a survivorship policy, or does a single life policy help achieve those goals? Start thinking about how this needs to come together for that particular client, knowing that you're gathering information about them, their health, and all of those issues that will be used in the underwriting process. As we also go through and gather information about the family, if we're looking and they have children and grandchildren, now we can start thinking about legacy. Legacy is, what do what do they want to pass on? What are the goals of helping the next generation? And does that legacy include generational planning? Or is it going to just be for the kids, or can we go beyond that? As they have grandkids, this scope can continue to grow, and you can become the planner for that next generation as well. And if they have younger kids, are we helping them with educational planning, helping them get through those college years? All of this, this conversation is going to be triggered by gathering information about the family. One thing that I also like to ask is, do they have current professionals that they're working with? When we look at these professionals, take the time to ask who they're working with. Do they like them? Are they doing a good job? If they are, then we've got an opportunity to work with joint work with these other professionals, build out our referral and center of influence network. So if they've got good advisors, let's use those advisors into growing your practice, because we're always looking for good referral partners and good centers of influence to do joint work with. As we move forward and start looking at their cash flow, understanding their cash flow is important. We would love to plan with an unlimited budget. Every client has a limited budget for us to work with. And as we start looking at this, think about as you see their cash flow, is there opportunities in here to redirect their income, improve their income? Think about that found money for planning. It always comes back to, let's say we're recommending putting 25,000 a year into a life insurance policy. Where's that money coming from? And can we reallocate some money in here, pay off some debt, move some assets around, whatever it is, can we redirect that found money into better planning opportunities? There again, we're in a limited vacuum here. So let's make sure that we do this the best way from a cash flow perspective. Right along with the cash flow is understanding their assets. As you start getting into the detail of their assets and liabilities, take the time to understand how things are owned. What assets have debt attached to it, because there's some of the planning we can do that doesn't matter what the debt is, but there is some planning opportunities that we can put assets like into a charitable remainder trust, but that has to be debt free. So we've got to make sure we understand, both the asset side and the income side or the liability side. Once we look at that, can we repossession assets? Do they have underperforming CDs or money market accounts that could be put into a life insurance policy? Then we move into the asset protection. Every client wants to protect their assets. Whatever it is, can we do a better job protecting those assets? There again, it's making sure, we look at how they're owned and what a better structure can be. Asset protection puts us right into the estate planning. Once we understand their assets and income and their family situation, now we can start talking that estate planning, that legacy planning. What is it that we're trying to pass on, move on, take care of our clients while they're alive, but move those assets the right way to the kids and grandkids? Estate taxes may or may not be an issue. There again, we've got a tax, cuts coming in 2026 with the Trump tax cuts, going away, which means we've got a lower estate tax exemption. That's going to affect a lot more people. But remember, we have states out there that have their own estate tax that kicks in at a very low level. So understand estate taxes are both at a federal level and a state level. Moving on, gather the information about their current insurance. What do they own? How is it owned? Do a policy review and see, can we improve the coverages? Can we decrease the coverages? There again, cash flow planning as well. And of course, adding long-term care to make sure we button up as many of these holes as we can find as we're going through. Taking the time to gather more information is always the key. If we look at their retirement plan savings, understanding how what they have in retirement, do they have enough? Do we need to do more, increase their contributions, do some tax-free retirement planning, IRA rescues? Understanding all of this retirement planning and where they're at in their life stage is going to be a great way to be able to help this client. And there again, to fill in those holes for those golden years of retirement, are they prepared? Finally, do they have a business? If they have business, now we can move into buy-sell planning, key man, employee retention. Again, asset protection for business owners is a big issue. All of this comes into understanding if they have a business, let's make sure we get as much information on that as we can so we can help them understand their personal planning is important, their business planning, and we've discussed this before. Most people that have a business, that is a significant part of their retirement planning as well. The two go hand in hand, and we want to make sure that we're getting the value of this business into their estate and then being able to pass that on to their kids and grandkids. So as you have this planning process, understand it's not just data gathering, it's data gathering with a purpose. The purpose is, can you gather this information so that you can spot the issues to help your clients? So I appreciate everybody getting on. If you have questions, feel free to reach out and we'll talk again next week. Thank you.